The life of a fisherman, it never gets old. So welcome to the show. Come on, yo, we're going Ike.
Hey everybody, Mike Iaconelli. I want to talk to you about the recent Going Ike episode called Getting Kids Fishing. Man, this is something that's really important to me, very dear to my heart. It's the only way we're going to grow the sport is to get more kids involved. I want to talk to you a little bit about the episode, what we did in that show, and I want to talk to you about some generals on getting kids fishing. Let's start with the generals. You know, the first one is the equipment, the rod and reel. You know, for kids just starting, we want to make it really simple and easy. We don't want to create a lot of problems in the beginning. You know, my suggestion is ultralight, smaller, lightweight combos. These are the Abu Garcia Ike Dude combos, and they're great for getting kids involved in fishing. You know, this one is a spin cast. It's probably the easiest to use. It's great to start them with the spin cast because it's so simple to throw. And then the next one's spinning. You know, that would be the next step up from a spin cast is a spinning combo because it's a lot easier to use than a bait caster. Start kids out with smaller combos and ones that are easy to use. You know, the next thing is to make it fun and catch fish. Have something pulling back. That's really, really important in getting kids involved in the sport. You want to make it fun for them. It's hard because if you're a hardcore bass head like I am, you got to put that aside and you got to make it fun and you got to have something that will catch fish, something that will make fish pull back. You know, my two favorite techniques, the one you're going to notice you saw on this rod, you saw a bobber and just a small hook. Live bait is a great way to get kids involved in fishing. Night crawlers, mealworms, crickets, minnows. It's a great way to catch all species of fish. But in the recent Going Ike episode, you're going to see that we used probably one of my favorite styles of artificials to get kids involved in fishing. And it's a bait style that I call a grub. I call it grub fishing. And it's one of the ways I started as a kid. And now that I'm teaching young kids, I pass it on and it catches a lot of different fish. Bass, crappie, walleye, trout, bluegill, pickerel, yellow perch, you name it. This grub will catch the fish. So let's look at this grub and let's look at a couple of my favorite baits. You know, the first thing's a jig head. Just grab your favorite light jig head. A 1/16 of an ounce, an 1/8, a 3/16, up to about a 1/4 of an ounce. That's the jig head you want. I'm a big fan of the VMC. This is called a finesse half moon head. And it's a great jig head because it's got a lighter wire hook on it. It's got a 90-degree line tie, and it's got this great big keeper on the jig head. And that's going to help keep the bait on the jig head. You know, the next two things are the baits. And I love the old grubs, traditional grubs like a Berkeley power grub, a 3 or 4 inch curl tail power grub. That's a great one. But recently my favorites are these hybrid grubs. I'm still calling them grubs, but a lot of people call them finesse swim baits. And they're great for getting kids involved in fishing. This one in my left hand is a Berkeley Havoc called a beach shad. And then this one in my right is a Berkeley Power Bait Ripple Shad. And this is a great one. They're available in a lot of sizes. I really recommend when trying to get fish to bite for kids, use the smaller sizes. And that's a 3-inch Ripple Shad. And all we're going to do with that jig head and that grub or that finesse swim bait is we're going to thread it on that jig head. That's all we're going to do. And I'm going to take that Ripple Shad and I'm going to just simply thread it around the bend of that hook and come out of the back. And I want to make sure it's nice and straight. And look at that little beautiful thing. Look at that right there. And there it goes. It's a perfect little imitator of small forage, little minnows, small crayfish. And to put it simply, when you're fishing with a kid, you're going to get bit with that style of bait. I hope you like the show. Please, if you know a kid, your neighbor, a friend, a nephew, and they haven't tried it, get them involved in fishing. Keep it simple, make it fun, and they're going to be hooked on the sport. If you want to learn more ways about how to help kids get fishing, check out our foundation. It's the IkeFoundation.org. Go check us out and take a kid fishing. See you later.
When I fish like him, you know I'm fishing hard. You might wanna say that I'm going Ike.